So it's still respect with the Northerners.
Look, in the pen, the Southerners are some motherfucking gangsters, homie. You feel me? And that's what I do know.
Man, I ain't these cats. I've done prison time, with them. I've been in riots, physical riots.
What years were this?
Early 2000s.
And then?
And they're with the business. They pop off too. As a matter of fact, they set off the riot. They had one building, and I was in their building.
What facility was this?
Soledad Central Yard.
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Okay.
They had one building, and they knew we were about to get off on them. So they were luckily that they called out, our building first, where we were outnumbered, and they jumped off immediately once we hit the yard, because they knew if the other buildings got let out, it's over for them. They would be outnumbered like 10-1 because they only had one building.
Oh shit. So it's not like you have a certain type of animosity towards them guys.
Nah, they handled their business. Like, they did what they were supposed to do. Like, real motherfuckers that been around them respect them. I'll be real. Their workouts were more intense than ours, and I was in the hole with them, so I would listen to their workouts because they would work out, and they have a little bit more intense workouts than us because they're less numbered, so therefore they have to be in a more physical, better shape.
So that's a real thing that they say they are more militant. You would say that's facts.
But they have to be like that because they're outnumbered, so they have to be in Captain America motherfucking physical shape.
Yeah.
Regardless, they get mopped up. But they hold it down. They actually, I would say they won that riot that I got caught up in because they jumped off immediately and they outnumbered us. If they would have let another building come out, they would have lost.
Oh shit. Damn, so that's crazy. You were really around those times.
Yeah. Before I was around, before the dropouts, before the 2-5s, that's when I was around. Like, back then, I'm gonna keep it real. The dropouts had one tier that we were aware of, and that was Birch Hall and Chino. They had the third tier or some shit like that, one tier, and that's all they had. And now it's overwhelming to where they have multiple prison yards and everything. But I was doing time when it was a myth.
Right.
Like, you heard it, but nah, it can't be true. These dropouts, nah, they're rushing homies. Nah, it's not true. But they were rushing the homies.
How do you feel about now? Like, how big it's gotten?
It's crazy. That's all I could say. I can't even.
I want to go back to you pretty much like, like not talking bad on like Northerners, because you got people out there who like never been nowhere and they'll smut them up.
They don't know shit.
Like, how you feel about that?
Man, we're all raza. We just chose a different side, chose a different belief, but they got Azteca blood just like we do. So yeah, just because we outnumber them, they will seize the opportunity if given. They will move strategically with the warfare mentality if needed. And that's why all these fools that be dissing them and never been around them, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like, how you gonna diss somebody? How you gonna disrespect them? And it's crazy because they don't know shit, man. My brother just paroled. He did 7 years. He just paroled, and he was on the yard spreading with Norteños, playing basketball with Norteños. Don't get it wrong though. If it pop off, it pop off. But what I'm getting to is that if you don't know about it, don't speak about it. If you ain't never been around them, don't speak on them. Like,